What's good, y'all? It's Classic MMA here. Today I'll be doing my UFC 326 Charles Oliveira vs Max Holloway fights to make after. So basically today I'm just going to be matchmaking pretty much all of the fights that I found interesting and matchmaking all the fighters who I think matter. So, if you came here to see who, I'm trying to think what the first, if you're coming here to see who Adolfo Gelato was book is getting, want to see who he's going to fight, Hapero got you, bro. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, main event: Charles Oliveira, very dominant performance over Max Holloway. Pretty kind of boring after the first two rounds, but I don't know. You blame it on whoever you want, but Max clearly just didn't have the takedown defense here, which is basically what I said in my prediction. So get on me for that, I guess. So for Charles, he's gonna be BMF champion, if you want to call it that. For his next fight, it's kind of weird because both of them are just kind of in the position to take fun fights, but I think we run a Charles versus Armin too, honestly. Armin, because the UFC just won't give this guy a title shot unless he wins like if he goes on if he beats Charles Oliveira a second time, then no way they could deny him a title shot, right? Like, come on, bro. If he beats Charles a second time, he has to be given a title shot. Like, honestly, I think this also makes sense for like a vacant title fight. Let's say Ilya decides that if let's say Ilya slimes out Gaethje and then just says I'm done with this lightweight stuff and heads up to welterweight, then this would be a cool vacant title fight too. So I say we run Charles versus Armin too. Then for the co-main event, pretty lackluster fight. Oh, not the co-main event, my bad. Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway. I think for Max here, coming off of the loss to Charles Oliveira, got held down for 5 rounds. Close. Kind of got fraud checked in his grappling, honestly. Just not being able to defend any takedowns on the fence whatsoever. Just getting mauled kind of even getting pieced up on the feet at points. So I think for Max, a decent bounce back fight that could also be dangerous for him as well. I think is BSD. Because BSD's been calling for like a top 5 opponent, got the big win over Hooker. Showed he's pretty dominant. So I think we run BSD versus Max, honestly. I think this would be fun. I think it has some interesting like dynamics in the matchup because like this could theoretically be a Calvin Kattar level beatdown is what's called. BSD just doesn't move his head and he just kind of is a blockhead that marches forward. But I could also see BSD just being too physical for Max because we saw that weakness in Max's game at 55. So I think we run Max versus BSD. Next up, we got Kaio picks up a pretty boring decision win over Rainier de Ritter. Yeah, I don't know. It was what it was. Kind of just a boring kind of slop fight. Kaio gassed out after a round. Not his most impressive performance, but it's middleweight. I'm not surprised. These dudes aren't skilled. They all suck. So anyone, if you're not named like Hamzat or DDP, you're just trash. Hamzat, DDP are like Strickland. The rest of these dudes are kind of garbage. Off too, but like other than that. So I think for Kaio, I think we should get him back in the top 5. Give him another opportunity at the top 5. And this guy also needs a bounce back fight. I say we run Kaio versus Fluffy Hernandez. So Fluffy coming off that body shot like TKO to Strickland where he just gets kneed up the middle and gets slimed out. And he needs a bounce back fight. So against a guy who's kind of low output, kind of scared at times in Kaio, two tech kind of the foot actually goes there, Kaio. And Fluffy, I think Fluffy would kind of school Kaio, honestly. Like, I think he would absolutely maul him. Just because Kaio clearly doesn't have the urgency. If Rainier the Ritter was getting him down at points and controlling him with his goofy wrestling, I feel like Fluffy could borderline kill the man. So, I say we run Fluffy versus Kaio next. Then for Rainier the Ritter, pretty mediocre performance. He won a round, in my opinion, but it wasn't like... He just fought how he always does, kind of mid. Tried to use his physicality, didn't work too well. So I think for Rainier the Ritter, I think he should fight another guy who won on this card. I'll also be curious to see him move up to 205 as well. But I say we run Rainier the Ritter versus RoboCop. So RoboCop is on a big win streak now. I think he's on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak. Like just coming out with 2 finishes. TK the crazy KO over Bruno Ferreira just slimes the man out. These 2 Brazilian blockheads just going to war. So. I say we run RDR versus RoboCop. I think this would be a fun fight at middleweight, so I say we make it. Then for the featured fight of the card, we had Rob Rosas Jr. putting up a pretty stinky performance against Rob Font, just basically laying on him for 15 minutes, having some back control, holding him, well, not even really back control, mostly just holding him full guard. Didn't really land any ground and pound, didn't really go for any subs, just kind of laid on top of him and Rob Font's takedown defense is so bad, like I told you in the prediction video. So I think for Raw versus Junior, I think the UFC, I know they love this kid. He's their new Mexican hope. They're gonna give him a big fight. I think that interesting enough fight would be him versus Davison Figueiredo. So I don't think Davison Figueiredo is gonna retire. He should, but I don't think he's gonna. So I think honestly he's like number 7 in the division. I just see them giving Rosas Jr. this big step up for no reason, which is also kind of winnable as Figgy is kind of old, washed, low output, doesn't really have it. Like I'd probably pick Figgy to beat him, but like I wouldn't be super confident either. So I say run Raw versus Jr. versus Figgy. Honestly, I think it's a cool fight. Sorry I sound a little out of it today. Let's just say I'm not getting enough sleep. For the loser, what's it called, Rob Font. He's gonna be what, like unranked now? Like he might be unranked. If he, so I think we just continue the gatekeeping, put him up against one of the probably the best prospect of bantamweight right now. I say we run Rob Font versus Taporia. Like I think Alexandre Taporia deserves kind of a big step up after that performance against Bekzat Amakan, which was a very dangerous fight for him. Bekzat is very dangerous, has knockout power, dropped Umar Nurmagomedov, and Alexandre Taporia kind of dominated him, dropping him multiple times, beating him with the boxing. So I think he should get a big step up, and Rob Font coming off 2 losses now. I think and also this is more favorable for Rob Font too, as he gets a striking matchup. I mean, Taporia probably grapple too, but like a guy who's more willing to strike than someone like Rosas Jr. So I say run this. I think this would be a fun fight. Run Rob Font versus Alexandre Taporia. And then for the what's called second fight on the main card, Drew Dober absolutely kills Michael Johnson. Now I will say those betting odds shifting right before the card. Hey, I'm just saying MJ might have rigged this fight, but considering the fact that he literally wins the first round and puts a hand down, but whatever. Say I'm coping, I don't care. So I think for Drew Dober, he's just kind of uncut lightweight. I think we should be having fun fights. And I think a really fun fight that would just bang and be like fight of the year. I say we run Drew Dober. Oh, oops. Oops. My bad. For Drew Dober, I think he needs to fight Mateusz Rambetsky. So Rambetsky's coming off that loss to Ludovic Klein, where he just kind of got pieced up in the striking, and then Klein broke his leg in the third round. He was able to land some ground and pound. Rambetsky's coming off what, 2 losses now? So I think he's gonna need. So I think he needs a bit of a bounce back fight, and a kind of a chinny unk and Drew Dober takes a lot of damage. I think this will be fun, and then I think this will just be a hard fight, fun fight. Like both these dudes come to stand and bang, have crazy durability, have crazy pure striking, no grappling involved. Just fun, honestly. I say we run Drew Dober versus Rambetsky, honestly. So then for Michael Johnson, sorry I kind of already spoiled it, but I think Michael Johnson just needs to pack it up. Like this dude's rigging fights, just not caring. Like, I don't know, man. I say Michael Johnson. I think we just need to call it a day. Yeah, you were cool, bro, but yeah, you're 40 years old. Just call it. So for the opener of the main card, RoboCop got a KO. Obviously, Bruno Ferreira flatlines the man. I already said who I think he should fight Rainier de Ritter. I already said that, so it doesn't matter. So for Bruno Ferreira, I think he's gonna be possibly unranked, possibly not. So I think Bruno Ferreira is gonna need a bit of a step down. So I say run Bruno Ferreira versus Cam Ralston. Cam Ralston's this interesting prospect coming out of CKB on a decent win streak. Got pretty all finishes in the UFC so far, and I think this will be a fun step up for him because I think this is very winnable for both sides. As now Bruno Ferreira, we know he's a little chinny. He's been knocked out by both Ruzabov and RoboCop now. And then, but also Cam Ralston's untested. His grappling's questionable. Like, he still has some things to prove. So, I say run this fight. This will be fun in the unranked section of middleweight. So, run this. Then for Cody Garbrandt, he did not win this fight. Like, I picked him, and even I don't think he should have won this fight. As long as I won this fight 2-1, he was just faking nut shots to get point deductions. Like, come on, Cody. This is how you can get only way you can get wins now. That was sad. So for Cody, who do I want him to fight? I think we run him versus Bekzat Amakan. Bekzat coming off that loss to Poria needs a bit of a step down. I think Cody's absolutely a step down. So I think you run this fight. I think I think Cody probably gets starched in a round or two against Bexot has KO power, but I'd say you run Cody Garbrandt versus Bexot. For what's called for Dante Johnson, wins a questionable split decision over Brundage. I don't know. This guy really isn't that good. He just kind of plods around at range, explosive, but fights kind of goofily. Like I don't know. This guy's so weird. So for Dante Johnson, I think a fun unranked like middleweight matchup for him. I say we run Dante Johnson versus Andre Petroski. You know, Andre Petroski, I think this is a bit of a step up from his first couple opponents. Still not a super big step up, but you know, Andre Petroski pretty chinny, gets KO'd a lot, but has pretty good has pretty solid wrestling, has underrated striking when he's not getting slimed out. So I say we run Dante Johnson versus Andre Petroski next. Then next up, Alberto Montes submits Ricky Tercios with a pretty sick anaconda choke. One of the like three highlights on this card. I'm not joking. So for Alberto Montes, actually looked impressive. You know, was able to deal with the kind of like weirdness, unorthodoxness of Tercios on the feet, and then eventually was able to just find his way to a sub. So I think for Montes, I think a fun fight for him that would test him a little bit featherweight. I said we run Alberto Montes versus C-Rod. He's like C-Rod, you know, he's coming out. He lost to a shitty old man. You know, he's not looking like the prospect killer he once was. So I think we gotta see if C-Rod still got it, man. I kind of missed the days of when C-Rod was just beating every prospect of bantamweight and featherweight. So I want to see if C-Rod still got it. So we should run Montez versus C-Rod. Now who I'd pick, I actually might pick C-Rod because C-Rod just locks in versus prospects, but you never know. Then for what's this guy's name? Now Niam Jargo Tumendebro, the Mongolian dude. Has a fun kind of just scrambly fight with Cody Durden. A lot of submission attempts, a lot of just stuff going on. Looked pretty solid in the wrestling. Not super impressive or anything, but looked decent. So for Tumendembro, I think a fun fight for him would be against Jeffo Filio. This would be a fun like scrambly BJJ matchup. I think a lot of grappling would be in, but also I think Tumendembro would also have a big striking advantage too. So this could be fun. I say make this soon. Then for Sumerdaji, he has a pretty dominant win over Jesus Aguilar, like I predicted. I thought he would have like kind of just a masterclass using his range, fighting smart, not being super aggressive, and he did all those things. So I think for Sumerdaji, I think he's on what like a 3 or 4 fight win streak now. I think he deserves a big step up. I think he deserves another chance at the top 15. So I think he should get the winner of Charles Johnson versus Bruno Silva. That's going to be going on next week on that Josh Emmett Kevin Vallejo's card. So I say we run Sumerdaji versus the winner of this. Like I think Sumerdaji's been looking pretty good in his striking lately. Also improved his takedown defense a lot. Like in his get up game, he isn't just a complete can on the ground anymore. So I say we run Sumerdaji versus the winner of Charles Johnson and Bruno Silva. Anyways, that's my video for y'all today. Sorry I sound a little off. I'm tired, but I had to get this video out. So hope y'all liked it and peace.